Skip.
Hello, James.
You came early. Thank you for joining me.
Well, I thought you might be early. You've had a long day. We both have, so we can check in and be ahead of schedule, which is not typical for Holy Week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's just check in today. Is everything okay?
Okay, good. Yeah. It other than Holy Week, two extra services, and then a Sunday morning and all that goes along. Even in small churches, it's a big deal for Holy Week and Easter.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah. Just want to make sure, how are you doing? And then anything else. That's why I want to make sure I've been gone, and thankfully I safely came back.
Well, I'm glad you're back safe, and I hope you had a great trip. I had shared with the group briefly in our check-in that I had some tests done by way of the hospital. They do heart scans and different things for employees. And of course, I'm mostly vegetarian, exercise regularly, don't smoke, maybe a little history. So I thought, well, let me go do the heart scan. So it's a CT scan that checks plaque in your arteries.
Wow.
For all employees. So I took it Friday last, and I got the results on Monday morning, and it revealed that I had significant plaque buildup.
Oh my.
And that my widowmaker was 50% blocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you serious? Why was I vegetarian all these years and exercised? But thankfully, with my James spouse, I got into a doctor that day, and he said, "You're just an anomaly. Your system just does that genetically. Thank God you took the test, because we're going to treat you." And so, the long story short, no extra tests are needed. My general practitioner said, "Yes, you have quite a lot of buildup, but thank God you found it." So he said, "We're going to treat you like you've already had a heart attack," which was kind of shocking. So we're going to put you on a statin that will stabilize the plaque and minimize or stop continued plaque buildup. You'll be on for the rest of your life. And for you, we're going to do the baby aspirin. So, that was really kind of a wow. That was an ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're healthy, you make choices, you do all that, but you can't outrun your genes. And with that you kind of hit emotionally with a grandchild coming in July, you think, what? And the doctor was very, very good. He got me right in on Monday. He said, "You're fine." And I told him, I said, "I have some tendencies, but a little hypochondriac." He says, "You're fine. We're going to treat this." And my cholesterol wasn't even high. My last blood work was 24. And he says, "Your cholesterol isn't really high. It's a little elevated, but nothing that would cause us from my previous practitioner to say, yeah, you need to be on heart meds. But he said, you are now. So we're going to, and he said, it'll probably drop your cholesterol 30 to 40. He said, we need to get you down to 50 or under, which is the standard. So that was like, wow, that was
Oh
a little
my.
touch of
Yeah.
humanity and,
Yeah.
yeah, finite nature of our bodies, that you do all you can. And, I'll turn 60, but I don't see myself as 60. So that was, I had to go through that thought process in the midst of everything else. So the group was really attentive and heard that and took some space and time for me. So yeah, that was interesting to walk with that space for a while.
Ooh, that's a shocking actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Not forever 20s.
No, we are not.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not going to get the little pill box that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm just not. I'm not. I just refuse that.
You refuse. Oh my. Oh, this is shocking.
And he said those statin medications he said they're very, very safe, very, very effective. It'll stabilize the plaque, it'll stop the buildup. He said for you, the baby aspirin is just an extra step. He said you can go to your cardiologist if you want, and I'll refer you, but they're going to tell you the same thing. So thank God that we live in a health system and I have access to health care.
That's amazing, actually. Yeah.
That they did this, and I even sent an email to our hospital administrator who sent that
Wow.
under leadership about who funds this. And the
Wow.
doctor said that scan is very accurate. There's no need to do another one. And
Wow.
I would have been one of those guys at 63 that falls over, and they're like, well, he was so healthy. So that I was thankful for that, and was reminded that every day is a gift.
Mhm. Yeah. Every day's gift. Yeah.
Every day is a gift.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna live forever.
No,
I want to
no,
live forever.
I do. I mean, I love my life. I
Oh,
do.
oh
Ugh.
my. Yeah.
But again, it goes back to thank goodness I live in a system than a hospital that sees value. And they're doing that. They're good, but they know that $500 for a test is a lot cheaper than open heart surgery in 5 years. So
Mm-mm.
they run those numbers and they know if we invest in preventative medicine, that's going to
Mm.
save us a lot more on the end with the cost of insurance. I get
Makes
that.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's a
does.
good investment for future preventative medical issues.
So the funny thing, all the chaplains in the department all got their heart scan. So everybody was going to get
Wow.
their heart scan.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I wish we can do that too. Well, anyway,
Right?
all right. It's a shocking, but somehow it's a blessing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Without knowing that in the future, you never know.
And he said there would be no reason why you would need to be on heart meds right now if you hadn't had that test.
Mm,
And thank goodness that happened. So
okay.
sense of thankfulness. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was your Holy Week? Other than this one?
So it is. We did Palm Sunday, and we're doing a community of the area disciple churches Thursday for Maundy Thursday. Our church is hosting, and I'm preaching. But we're not doing a Good Friday, encouraging people to go to a church in their area. Nothing Saturday, and then 2 services on Sunday. So it's manageable. Even though they're somewhat liturgical, they're not high liturgical. So it's doable.
Doable. Okay.
It's doable. It's just that when it falls now, and I'll miss the group on Thursday, but I'll certainly watch the class and take it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about your tradition?
Here we're like a reformed tradition. Very, it's really liturgical here. So we have a Friday service, Palm Sunday, thank God I was not able to do that. One of our elders is a preaching elder, so he did it while I was gone. But
Good.
I'm gonna do Good Friday and also Easter. So it's a really busy week for me too. And Thursday will be CPE and work. A lot of things to catch up. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
never ending.
And the end of our unit too, which happens every spring for every unit. It just sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it's pretty busy season.
It's like the holidays in the fall. I mean, it comes up on it
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
up and it's just a reality.
It's yeah, it's never ending. Yeah, especially we Asians we work so hard. That's kind of our culture. I
Hmm.
try not to do that, but it's embedded into my system. But I'm aware of it. But fighting against. Well, how can I not to do more? It's kind of challenging. But what I can do, what I can do,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where I am. How was the
That's why
CP? Yeah, go ahead.
that's why I like seeing the picture of you at the beach because that's not your normal place. So I thought,
Yeah,
oh, that's good for James Getaway.
yeah. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. Relax and go to beach and yeah. So how was the CPE?
I thought we had a great class. I'm glad
Yeah.
I went last in that the others could have kind of the fresh energy. I was, I said, oh, they're going to be so tired. But my reflection paper, I didn't focus so much on myself, though. I thought the feedback was welcomed, and you could tell for some it was a concept they were very familiar with. For others, it was a new concept, and it was interesting to see them struggle with that gender identity is not necessarily being gay. Gender identity is about I'm going to be a tomboy. So it was interesting how they interpreted that. But I thought they still participated even though it was the last hour, and I think they found it informative. I appreciated their engagement and their probing and questioning. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was really pleased with it. I cut some out because of time.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved that chapter. I loved um, her styles of engagement, hide
Mm-hmm.
and seek, and
Yeah.
there was about 10 or 12 of those that I thought that would have been really good to find your preference and then find another one that's not your preference. But I eliminated that because of time and then focused on the 6 or 7 guideline suggestions about being aware of gender issues. But I thought it was good. But I thought the really insights were from the 2 verbatims in the midterm, the
Mm.
mid-unit
Yeah.
evaluation.
Tell me about it. Yeah, you briefly mentioned about your reflection paper. I'm just curious about how did you see as a leader, leader right now and a potential leader in the future, and anything that you see interesting?
I thought I was most pleased with Emma Bett's engagement of the process. If you could just, as you watch it, she was in this wonderful room that it was almost stately. She wasn't in like the child Sunday school room. She just almost was queen-like.
Mm.
She sat there, and her video, her computer all worked. She
Mm-hmm.
was in command.
Mm-hmm.
She had control over the technology. She's in this beautiful scene, and she just fully presented and I thought engaged at a way that was totally appropriate for where she was in the process. She stayed with the care receiver. She stayed with the thought. Typical first unit, she stayed with the thought.
Mm-hmm.
She asked questions,
Mm-hmm.
and then she avoided the emotional trauma.
Mm. So you notice all these things.
Yeah, she steered away from the emotional trauma. I'm going to go what I like. Let's talk about Jesus and your prayer group and your Bible study because that's what she's familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I asked her about, you said you cried, I got close to it. And then she said, I became emotional with her. She kind of put that off and thought there was no transference, countertransference. Then we began to unpack that, and it was full. It was full of
Yeah,
countertransference for her.
that's
But
interesting. Yeah.
so she just was so. It was good to see her happy with no hiccups. Like, every time she's been frustrated, like I'll send it to you, almost defeated, like, well, I'll send it to you.
Mhm.
But she was able to do all of that. I was so happy for her.
Okay. So I'm just curious. I watched it and I try to remember. You asked some questions, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thank you for bringing some thoughtful questions.
And I asked the question not about, I said, you recognize your emotion. I cried, but then you went to the other way about, oh, I'm so glad you're in a Bible study. But she owned it, and she said, yeah, I have emotional she identified her emotional response. Then she chose to go another direction. I didn't follow up with that. I just identified, can you tell us more about that? And she did a little bit, but her answers would always go back, not internal reflection, but what she thought the care receiver needed. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to go internal. They want to talk about what they felt like they needed in the care encounter, not necessarily what she needed and why she was crying. Because
Hmm.
she doesn't present as emotional, but she said she wept with her,
Hmm.
which I thought she brought a great case. Um, and I think she really is listening. When you see her improvement in her verbatims from her first, she has really come a long way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from this your assessment, I'm just curious about what did you learn about you?
I saw myself,
Yeah.
and I saw it is natural for us to avoid the emotional and go to the familiar. And when we're not attentive to that, that can be our tendency. And I saw her as a sister, as someone I was cheerleading for. I wanted her to do well. So I'm
Mm,
find myself cheerleading. Come on, you got
mm,
this. Oh, you
mm,
you look so good. Look at
mm,
you.
mm,
And your technology's working.
mm.
Yay. I needed her to be successful. And that's probably me wanting her. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I wanted her to do well in this.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. The reason I ask this question is I'm just curious about if you have thought about, oh, this is kind of my path, if God is leading me, because
Mhm.
you have some clinical eyes to see things not many people see, and you have a courage to give some comments and observation. So that's why I ask. I'm just curious about if you found, oh, I have some skills or potential gifts to become an educator or something like that. Because I see that, yeah,
Well, I can tell you this, it's gratifying.
yeah,
It's gratifying to see her move
uh-huh.
from that place to this place.
Okay,
And it makes me want to applaud the
yeah,
process and the
uh-huh.
whole thing. I drank the punch,
Mhm.
you know, trust the process. We say that, but it really works. And,
Okay, yeah,
she's doing it, and that is fulfilling. I admit it is very fulfilling to see her do that.
yeah. Hope.
Now, I wonder when it doesn't happen, that's gotta be frustrating.
Ah,
That's gotta be hard.
yeah. Uh, I not always happening.
Not
Sometimes
happening.
not at all. Yeah. And to make it happen is really challenging. But thinking about it and all these great opportunities for your kind of future and BCC materials and yeah, those things. That's all my questions. Yeah,
Mm, wonderful.
yeah. How's your BCC? I don't think you have time right now, but you're still preparing BCC materials. Slow.
I am. So I have found my last verbatim last week. Wonderful. I'm so happy about this encounter.
Yeah.
So I have my fourth verbatim. So pleased with that. So pleased. Um, and then I'm working on my level 2 project. I'm adding up some more. My issue is the book is so Bible, Bible, Bible.
Mm,
Don't want it to be Bible, 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 because
okay.
that leaves out Annalise and Rom. So I brought in some material about spiritual care for LGBTQ, or just say queer.
Mhm.
So I'm bringing that because I don't want this to be, because I know we're at different places theologically. So I don't want to spend time unpacking the 8 verses in scripture
Yeah.
and doing the hermeneutic about that.
Good
That's
call.
not spiritual care.
Yeah.
I want to introduce it
Mhm.
and talk about his journey, which I think is really impactful. To be someone silent on the sidelines that has no investment to stepping into the struggle. But then I found a really good study from Australia about spiritual care, a really good article about how do you care for queer people. So I'm going to incorporate a lot of that, introduce questions. So I'm working on that. And then trying to get to the outcomes and indicators. The last section is always a challenge.
Yeah, you have a couple more
Yeah,
to
I
fill it
do.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think you will be able to do that. Yeah.
yeah. But in finding that last verbatim, because we moved the verbatim because I needed more time, and I'm so glad we did because I found a really good encounter to bring to the group. Um, so when I found that and I was able to put it on paper,
Mm,
I could rest. Okay, it's out there now. I just need to develop it.
yeah.
So I felt relief when I found that fourth
Yeah.
verbatim.
I trust you. Yeah, I trust your process. Whatever you found to bring it to us, and that'll be it. So this Thursday you're not gonna join,
Mm-mm.
and I'm gonna send you a video and you can watch it. And yeah, just ACPE tracking will be updated soon. You please do so.
Yes, yes,
Pretty much like within a couple of weeks I begin writing final evaluation based on tracking notes. I think that's yeah. You're doing so well. There's not much I can say.
Oh, it's just a great process. Just jump in and do the process. And Joseph and Cause were just great facilitators.
Yeah.
It's great to experience all the approaches. So yeah, very happy, very pleased. A little sad that it's coming to the end.
You said the last unit too. It's
Yeah,
already yeah.
it's interesting.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. It's almost end. A couple more weeks.
Mm.
Yeah, but keep in touch. Yeah.
Oh, we will, and see what's next for me and CPE.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's definitely. Yeah, you can join, test out what CPA educator world looks like it, and if you don't like it, many people just try it and just go away. But a good thing is we need a good educators. I see a lot of potentials in you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you many
You
times
brought
that
that out.
yeah. I
You have
mean,
brought that out.
you have a really good eyes to see.
Mm,
That's a rare game.
mm,
Very special. The clinical eyes.
mm.
So, well, it's beneficial for your hospital and patients, but certainly you can share it with other CP students in the future. Mm,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
that's my desire. Yeah. Oh, I think Joseph agrees too. Yeah.
Oh my, that's so
See,
touching.
yeah, we both agree. What if Skip goes this kind of track? And it was wonderful. That was really wonderful. It's
Mm.
great honor to work with you, Skip.
Oh, it is with me, James. You're
Mm,
become a brother and a friend and a co-journeyer.
yeah, eventually, years ago when I heard about a CPE and a BCC and CP educator, and thinking like that, chaplains are different human. But working as a chaplain, they're a little bit different, but they're the same.
Hmm.
And I see all the BCC. I thought they are holy, holy people. After becoming, they are not holy. They're like us, you and me.
They are.
And when I met all the educators before, very limited. It's I think about 500-600 people in the United States. Very limited. Yeah,
Mm.
and begin thinking that they are holy, holiest person in the world. No, they're we are we're all smelly, nasty, dirty human being.
Yes,
So at the end of the day, we're all working together for what? For patients.
for patients,
Yeah,
care for
patients.
others.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's what I do. That's all we do. So connection is important.
Mm.
In this process, I'm so glad to see you, and you have a lot of potentials to join us, becoming one of us, and educating other people. That's kind of my
Mm.
desire. Yeah.
Well, thank you, and it's going to be great to hear that day and see that when you're certified, no longer a candidate, when you're certified, right?
Yeah. I I go slow. Usually after theory paper, which is I did last year, people teach 2 units and they become certified. And I just no, I'll go more. So it's about a year. And then I taught three. I think I taught 4 classes already. I think slow is okay.
That's your
Yeah,
process.
yeah. I want to just go slow, and it doesn't matter. I'm here right now. I'm with
Mhm.
all of you right now, and I met you, and then I say, "Oh yeah, Skip can be
Yeah.
one of us."
Well, I think so much early in our ministry, it was like, hurry, hurry, hurry,
Yeah,
another degree, get ordained, and we push, push, push. But as you get older, you're like, well, I want to enjoy the process, enjoy
definitely.
the journey.
Yeah,
Yes.
this
Hmm.
is it. So one day maybe my former supervisor, I was in different hospital. She expected I would become fully certified last year around this December-ish before I left M1. She was confident about that. But I could have done if I won, but I could have missed a lot of things. I want to enjoy CP first
Yes.
and go slow.
And you have a daughter's wedding and so many
Oh
things
yeah.
going on, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
So probably at the end of this year, and you never know. Maybe then my original plan is I'm gonna establish a CP school at my mental hospital.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my main goal.
wonderful.
But I'm not sure if that is God's will either. I found out that is CP center is a headache.
It's a lot of work. I can't imagine.
I
Oof.
I don't want to do that. And just to remain as a CP educator will be fine. Thank you for listening, and then that means I trust you, and I'm
Mm.
sharing my personal story.
Thank you for
Yeah.
honoring me with that.
Anything else you have in your mind?
No, thank you for listening, and our check-in this week is welcomed.
Yeah. Do well and process well with your church, and then as soon as I end Thursday class, either Friday or if I forget, maybe Saturday, I will send you a link.
Okay.
I don't think you have a time this weekend to watch it, but next week you can watch it
Okay.
and give me some thoughts and your opinions.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, then I will see you 2 weeks later then.
Am I going to be Eeyore Thursday?
Oh, what do you want to be?
He's back
right,
there. I see
right
him.
there. I have a different puppet in my home. In my home, so I'm gonna bring. Well, I'm gonna bring something.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Thank you, James.
All right. Take care.